You keep ignoring your inner child, I promise you, she or he is gonna fuck your shit up. This is what I see so often with entrepreneurs building their business. They're building their business on shaky foundations, meaning you're trying to build your $1 million empire on building blocks of I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not loved, I'm not lovable. Oh, I'm self-sabotaging. Oh, the strategy's not working. Oh, I've manifested this fucked up thing. It can look like all sorts of things. Welcome to the Alex Tripod Show, the space where we blend 5D frequency with real world flex. After coaching thousands globally and becoming one of the most trusted and triggering voices in manifestation, I realized you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you're willing to fucking become. So if you're a high achieving entrepreneur who knows that we're born for more wealth, more influence, more unapologetic power, then strap in. This podcast is your permission slip to collapse timelines, rewrite the rules, and embody the version of you that gets everything they came for. Because let's be real, nothing is real, everything's a hologram, and you're about to bend it all in your favor. Let's fucking go. Welcome to another episode of the Alex Tripod Show. I'm a little bit reluctant to do this one, if I'm being honest. This one's called Trying to Scale a Polished Turd. Turd, like crap, like piece of shit. So I was also thinking about calling this one, do you have a borderline personality disorder or bipolar? Or is it just your inner child screaming for attention, spiraling, disassociation, fear of abandonment? But I decided to go with scaling a polished turd, So hopefully you get the gist. We're going to get real. We're going to get raw. I'm going to be sharing with you a story that basically changed the game for me around 5 years, because 5 years ago in my business, I was trying to scale a polished turd. And this is what I see so often, like entrepreneurs building their business on really wobbly foundations, on sand, basically. And this is what I see so often with entrepreneurs building their business. They're building their business on shaky foundations, meaning you're trying to build your $1 million empire on building blocks of I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not loved, I'm not lovable. And what this looks like is you're mindsetting yourself or using strategy to actually ignore and override and trump over the little inner child of you that is screaming for your presence. It is screaming for your attention. And if you do not attend to their needs and you keep ignoring your inner child, I promise you, she or he is going to fuck your shit up. Like so hard. And it's going to look like, oh, I'm self-sabotaging. Oh, I've got a program. Oh, the strategy's not working. Oh, I've manifested this fucked up thing. Or it can look like all sorts of things. It can look like a fucking flopped launch. It can look like a health issue. It can look like something that completely derails your business. It can look like, for me, a massive relationship breakdown that woke me the fuck up, right? So 5 years ago, I was going crazy after a devastating breakup with my then fiance. And God, I feel really reluctant to even share this, but I remember the night we broke up after about, I'm going to say a year and a half to maybe 2 years of really trying. We had like relationship coaches and therapy, and I was working on myself and she was working on herself. And oh my God, it was like a lot. We threw the kitchen sink at it. And I remember the night we broke up, she said, my therapist told me she thinks that you have borderline personality disorder. And at the time, I fully rejected it. I was like, what do you mean? Your therapist doesn't know shit, right? So I fully rejected it. And I remember that night I went to bed and 2 a.m, spirit woke me up. And I was like, what's borderline personality disorder? Is that like a crazy person? What even is that? And I looked up all the symptoms. And I was reading all the signs that you have borderline personality disorder. And the way I was showing up in that relationship was literally like someone who had borderline personality disorder. And tears just started streaming down my face. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a fucked up person. I'm a fucked up human being. I literally have a mental disorder and I'm showing up to know like how to help people manifest it. I'm not in integrity. I'm horrible. I'm disgusted. And I went to shame. I'm like, I can't do my business anymore. This is fucked. Right. And I remember messaging my mom. It was like 2 a.m. I'm like, Mom, I'm fucked up. I'm like, I think I have a disorder. I'm mentally ill. I need to come home. She calls me at 6 a.m. when she finally gets the message. She's like, baby, we love you. Come home. And that's when my true healing journey started. That's when I started really looking at the like the wounds and the embodiment and the emotions that little Alex wanted me to be with and feel. And so I share this with you because so many of us are trying to scale a polished turd, right? i.e. your business. And trying to scale a polished turd is like trying to build your $1 million empire on deep inner child wounds. It's going to crumble, baby. And the thing is, I was spiraling, right? I was spiraling in this relationship. I couldn't stop crying. I even at one stage, I think I considered checking myself into a mental institution, or at least getting like some big like trauma, mental, like massive therapy. And I looked at all the Western things. But deep down, I knew something like was off. Like, is it disorder? Or was I just unhealed? Was it just wounds? And I did heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of research. And then I remember stumbling across this teacher that changed my life. And the way she spoke about how she'd been doing basically trauma therapy for like 20 years. And then only since she started talking to her inner child and healing that part of her that felt unsafe or abandoned, that everything started to change and her relationship started to change, and she finally started to feel enough. And this was like a highly qualified woman who'd done all the psychologically and degrees and trauma and all of it. And I was like, whoa. And what I realized is that, you know, it's a blanket statement what I'm about to say, so just take it with a grain of salt. But what I know to be true about a lot of my clients and what I've been experiencing, a lot of people that experience these traumas and we self-diagnose like ADHD or bipolar or borderline personality disorder or whatever other Western name, this is a Western name that's really just covering up, and it's a name for a deep inner child wound. A part of you that hasn't been loved, a part of you that's screaming to be seen, to be held, and to be loved, right? So this is the breakup that literally changed everything for me. Like, 5 years, my whole life changed. And honestly, it was because it was finally the time that I really learned to heal myself. And I used two things to really shift my world. And just give you some context, I went from like being in a relationship, going through a breakup, moving back home with mum and dad. I put a cover photo on my Facebook, and it said basically like upgrades in progress. And I went offline for like 6 to 8 weeks, I think. And I went deep, right? And there was two things that I was doing. Number one, like deeply, deeply, deeply attending to my inner child wounds. I hired an embodiment, trauma-informed inner child coach that she helped me like feel what was in that void and really meet the void to the depths and like hold myself and cry and purge, and like to the point that like I got to myself to a point that I no longer feared the emotion of grief and sadness. I got to a point within even a couple of weeks of my breakup that I'd be like, okay, I welcome the grief. I welcome the sadness. I welcome this wave of emotion that's about to fucking overtake my body right now, because I knew every time that I would meet it with presence and just fucking crumble and hold myself in fetal position and cry and purge. And even though sometimes there'd be stories about like mourning the vision that me and my fiance had and mourning all of that, I knew the more I could detach from the story and just be in the emotion. And it was like, it's fucking crippling. Like, no one gets it. I'm lonely. This is fucked. I don't want to be here. I want to die. Like, it was, but like really holding myself through that, like every single time within 2 to 5 minutes on the other side, sometimes 90 seconds of the big release and purge, I felt a lightness, an expansion, and almost a deep pride. Oh my God, I held myself and I didn't die, and I'm on the other side, and I felt more whole. I felt lighter. And I didn't know before this how to hold myself. I would distract. I would look to my partner to give me the validation. I would look to my audience. So I was manifesting probably for the first 3 years of my business. It's not that legend. Quick pause. If you're already making 10 to 30K months and you're ready to scale to 7 figures with support, strategy, and savage self-leadership, then you belong in my mastermind, Mission and Millions. This is where high-level entrepreneurs come to expand their capacity, master 5D business, and bust into a whole new financial paradigm. If that's you, click the link in the show notes and get inside. Now let's get back to the show. It's not that I wasn't a good manifestation coach. I was obsessed with this shit. I knew it, but I was missing the embodiment piece. I was missing it's safe to actually be in stillness and hold myself in the deep, raw emotions that most people don't want to fucking feel and heal. And I kept on sweeping under the rug with bigger projects and look at me and my big fucking dick and here's a stage and here's my book and I'm quantum shifting. And now, because I've learned to heal that part of myself, I'm quantum leaping now with no chance of crumbling. I've fucking bulletproofed my evolution. Because I learned how to harness, yes, it's self-concept, it's mindset, it's identity work, it's quantum shifting mixed with deep embodiment, deep being present to these inner child wounds, deeply being with little Alex when she needs it. And so being able to master both of these, the inner child work, the embodiment work with the identity work, this is literally, it laid the foundation for my multi-7-figure business and the freedom and the expansion that I now live. And not just that, the safety that it created in my body. I reckon a huge part of why I feel so safe to be on stages and be visible and all this stuff is because I feel safe in my nervous system because of this work I do. And what I see so often in the personal development industry, it's either you're feeling all your fucking feelings, but you don't have the tools of okay, I'm feeling my feelings, but who am I calibrating to? Who is the woman? Who's the man that I'm becoming? How do they think? How do they feel? How do they speak? How do they walk? Who is that? What are their belief systems? What's my self-concept? So my hologram reflects how I internally dominantly believe about myself, right? They're not doing any of that work. So you're sitting here going, I'm feeling my feelings. They say that if I feel, I heal and I should quantum shift. No, you're going to sit in there feeling your fucking feelings because you're not calibrating to who you are becoming, to your future version of you. And then there's other people that are doing all that work, mindset, quantum shifting, because there's a part of them that's fucking running away from the deep, deep fucking emotions that they don't want to feel. And because they're missing the embodiment, crumble, 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 crumble. I know firsthand, even one of my best friends, he talks about it online. He scaled his business to a 900K month. He was almost hitting $1 million months. And his entire fucking business came crashing down because he was building it from wounds. So if there's any piece of advice I can give you, it's both. Get a coach or get some help that's qualified in both, or have an embodiment coach and a mindset coach, or have someone that's walked the path of doing both. So you know what to do, that you're not overriding your fucking wounds or all your emotions with oh, I've had a 50K launch, or, and you're also not just sitting there feeling and healing and feeling and healing and not actually doing the work to create the version of you in the quantum of who you know you can be. I do want to say the happy side in the ending of this is that within 8 weeks, it was almost between 6 to 8 weeks, which is hilarious, right? Because I always say quantum physics tells us it takes anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks for the metaphysical and the physical to align, meaning how you feel on the inside right now may take 6 to 8 weeks to show up in your reality, in your physical 3D reality. So literally 6 to 8 weeks of fully going offline, doing this inner work, deep chats in the quantum, self-concept, inner child work, working with the coach, holding myself in grief. And just a context, by the way, my relationship with my fiance at the time, part of me feeling so triggered was because we had no sexual intimacy left. For about 2 years straight, there was no sexual intimacy at all. And I just felt like I was living with my housemate. I felt so abandoned. And that's not on her. That was me manifesting her to reject me, to reflect my deepest inner child wounds, right? And I wasn't really working on them. So it just kept on like perpetuating. The reason I share this with you is because what I wanted more than anything coming out of this relationship is to manifest a woman, not another relationship, although I did fall into a relationship because I don't just sleep around, okay? If I'm sleeping with someone, I develop feelings, so fucking help me, Lord. But I wanted to share this with you because I wanted more than anything to manifest a woman that was just up for it any time, that couldn't get enough of me, that was like a sex crazed addict, like just wanted me all the time because I wanted to manifest opposite of what I had, right? Within 8 weeks, I launched a new program called Time to Transform. I had a $220,000 launch. I found my voice again and I came back online and everyone was like, holy fuck, she's back. I released 8 kilos of toxic fat and I actually healed my thyroid and autoimmune disease. And I manifested a queer sex coach who literally could not get enough of me. And the sex was fucking insane. So I just want to tell you that this isn't even just about your business. This is about using these tools, embodiment practices, and self-concept, combining it to literally sculpt and mold and heal and transform any area of your life. This is my jam, by the way. If you want to learn how to do this and you want tools and templates and audios and activations and my guidance so you're actually doing it properly so you can also have a 6 to 8 weeks transformation, you know what to do. Click one of the links in the show notes and come into one of my containers. I love you so much and I'll see you on another episode of The Alex Tripod Show. Thanks for tuning into the Alex Tripod Show. If this episode activated something inside of you, leave a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify and hit that subscribe button on YouTube so you never miss a frequency drop. Because this isn't just a podcast, it's a mission to raise the vibration of humanity, to awaken millions, to build new earth, one lit up legend at a time. And if you're ready to go deeper, wilder, and all in on your soul's legacy, come play on Instagram at Alex Tripod. I'm there daily, dropping codes, calling out bullshit, and helping you manifest the life you actually want. Let's keep playing big because we're only just getting started.